All right, we're live.
What
We're
up?
here for another week of hi-fi news, but specifically we're going to be focusing on all the teasers that have been going on for Munich High End, the High End Society show, the world's biggest audio show. So there's been quite a few teasers and some things I'm not entirely sure are intentional or not, or might be suggesting there's something new, but we're going to go over it. So
For
say hi
sure.
to people in the chat here. We got Scotty, Audio Acoustic Engineering. We got Beyond Resolution.
It's
Got some others
Friday.
joining.
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
it's Friday. Yeah, it's definitely the stack time for hi-fi on Friday. We got us. We got Scotty's show on Instagram that's coming up later. It's 7:30 Central Time, if I'm correct. And then Hi-Fi Happy Hour with Emiko right after at 8 p.m. Central Time.
Ray, I thought our live was at 6. Because 6 here is 5
Central
there.
Time.
Yeah.
No, but no, 6 here is 5 where you are.
Oh, that's why I was like, damn. Scotty invited me to a live, and I was like, oh, damn. Because he was, 6:40. This time thing is so confusing, bro. If you want to do a live with me, just say, get ready. 10 minutes. I'll be
I
like, all
know.
right, bet.
That was the mistake I made. I should have told you just Mountain Time. I should have just ignored. When I told you 6 initially, I was like, wait, I should just tell him at
I thought it
Mountain
was 6
Time.
here, so I was just chilling on the living room. It's like, are you ready? I'm like, crap. Damn. All right,
All
but
right,
we good. We made it.
we made it. We're here. We did it. All right. Let's share the screen. All right. So we talked about this a little bit last week, but now the announcement's official. KEF's not going to DMCA me for showing pictures of this thing, and it's the
Yeah.
LS60 wireless.
I think
All right.
those are gonna be my end of all speakers if I got those.
End of all speakers, really? You think
Yeah,
so?
they got the coaxial. They got 4 drivers, so I think bass is gonna be great. They got DSP correction, so they're way better. They're gonna sound way better than a speaker with a passive crossover.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Especially,
That's a
and
spicy take right there.
they have the meta. They have all the technology. What else can you want? Like they got the coaxial, so you got the point precision, uh, soundstage. You're gonna get all the bells and whistles. You don't need another speaker. Like, let's say, yeah, you just don't need another speaker. They got the amp, they got the technology, they got the coaxial, they got the new UniQ drive design, whatever. They got subwoofers on them. They got everything. You don't need another pair of speakers, in my opinion. What's your take on them?
I think they're interesting. I think that it's aimed at a little bit different of an audience because I honestly do believe like the passive crowd is still wanting a passive speaker. So the active crowd, and I just checked out like the Heavenly Soundworks 517, and that was really cool. And in some ways competes with this as well. So I think it's a little bit of a different crowd, and KEF said that they tried to make this thing as thin as possible, as small as possible, make it very friendly for like modern living rooms and like modern bedrooms. It's not a speaker that you're going to put in like a dedicated listening room. It's something that you can integrate into your everyday life,
Nah, dude, I think it's just too good. You don't need all the amplifiers and stuff. Just put them there, connect to it, and you're good. You got a streamer, you got the amplifier, you got everything.
I was
Why?
surprised by this how thin it is. Like they show there's like
Yeah,
an
it's
iPhone, and
thin. It's thinner than the
yeah,
LS50s.
I definitely knew that for sure. I definitely knew for sure it was thinner than LS50, but I mean, just that when you see it there with the iPhone, and it's like, oh wow, it's really, really small.
But that's crazy how they can get that much performance out of that size of speaker. I want to listen to those. I texted Calf. Let's
Yeah,
see, guys. Go text Calf. Be like, send a speaker to Bass Therapy. He wants to review it. I think that really helps. Just annoy them. They're gonna do it probably.
that's true. Yeah, people should definitely hit Kep up and tell them, yo, you need to send stuff to Bass Therapy because
Yeah, let's
you've
do it.
been selling these speakers for so long, and I definitely think you've probably sold at least like 10 to 20 Q350s,
Q150s,
Q150s,
150s. The
150s at
Q350s
least.
are
Yeah,
not where it's at. It's the Q150s.
Q150. Okay. All right. Audio System Special just joined. Hello, hello. All right. Any parting thoughts on the LS60?
That's gonna be my end speaker when I
All
save
right.
up $6,000.
Or after that 7 million real plays,
Yeah, let's do it.
7 million reels. Run up them bass therapy reel plays for
I'm
sure.
gonna have to start twerking in front of speakers and shit.
So there's a market for everything.
Play that Cardi B, you know.
Hell yeah. All
Wait,
right,
which
T
one?
plus.
Oh,
This is T plus A. T plus AT is the new speaker, or well, it has to be a speaker, but I don't know if this is going to be a replacement to the Solitaire line because it kind of looks like the Solitaire in a way, or if it's going to be an entirely new line, or maybe something in between because their speakers do vastly differ in price range. Because I think after the I think it's the Talus series. After the Talus series, which is like 20 grand, you go to the Solitaire, which is like 60 grand. So I don't know if this is going to replace the Solitaire or it's going to be something in between that kind of fills some of those gaps.
they look powered though. Do you think they're gonna be powered or like passive?
I don't know, because this is kind of the way the Solitaire looks. Here, I'm going to click out of this for a second, go to T plus A, and we'll see if they got a picture of the Solitaire real
Don't
quick.
show
to
your
show
search
you.
history, all right?
No, don't worry about that. My search history is perfectly clean. I'm a very good boy. I was raised very Christian. Here we go. Here, this is like the setup of the Solitaire, but you can see like multiple drivers, the ribbon tweeter, and the two bass drivers on the side. So
maybe they want to go powered too, because I see a lot of brands going powered nowadays.
Yeah, I know. I was talking about this on the Heavenly Soundworks video. And people were saying, oh, if an amp breaks in there, then you're screwed. And it's like, well,
Nah,
there's
it
certainly
lasts so many years.
there's certainly the ability for just a traditional amp to break as well, So it's like it just depends on the designer and who's backing and everything like that. I think people were also saying a lot of that with the KEF, right? Because I think they're only guaranteeing the electronics for 1 or 2 years, something like that. So people were kind of like, oh, if my thing, I want a system that lasts, 10 years or whatever. This is only warranted for 2. Boo.
That's kind of sus though. Only warranty for 2 years, especially a $6,000 pair of speakers. Even like PCs, you see the GPUs, they get like 5
3
years.
years.
Power supplies, they get like 10 to 15 years.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. They should like done at least 5 years, because if those break, that's $6,000. So like,
I don't. It's not going to be 6. I mean, you could probably get it repaired or something.
$7,000.
Yeah, 7,000. But I mean, 7,000 for the whole thing. But if you needed to get it repaired, I think that you'd have like a local shop or local dealer or some sort
Not
of
me.
KEF authorized.
You're fudged. I'll bring them in the airplane when I go to your house next time.
there'll be something.
Yeah, let's hope.
Yeah,
Cause I ain't trying to pay shipping for that shit, cause it's gonna be too expensive for the price and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what they would do. I don't know how friendly it is to open it up or anything like that. So, we'll see. But I think I don't think there's been massive complaints about like the LS50 wireless or
yeah, they have good
1
designers.
or 2, right? So
I would
say look at the track record of the company itself, or what they're using, if it's HypeX Encore, if it's some no-name brand, or whatever like that. So but I think KEF can be trusted in that regard, and we're going to see what T plus A comes out with here. But I'm imagining this is going to be a passive, because I can't imagine them going into the active at this level.
They're an amplifier company too, and they already have a speaker that looks like it. So KEF releasing those, there's no competition on it.
We'll see. Who
do you think competes with the LS60s right now? There's nothing.
No, there's Dynaudio's active offerings, and there's.
How much are those?
They're in that same range. I think it's I'm trying to think of the range. Is it EXO or the Zeo 30, something like that?
All right.
I think that's like 6,000, 7,500, something like that.
Are they towers or just bookshelves?
They're towers.
All right, bet. I have to look it up then.
Only concern with power speakers is they don't seem like ventilation of the amps. There's not prioritizing vibrations. I guess that depends.
Amplifiers nowadays are so they don't consume a lot of power, especially they're using a Class D. So I don't think those get really hot.
Yeah, the Class Ds are super efficient. Don't need a ton of venting and such. And
and there's like air turbulence inside a cabinet going through the amp, I think. So that too.
Just depends on the designer, I think. All right, here's the big teaser. Is the Hegel
They
posted this?
leaked it.
Yeah, they posted this
Intentionally?
rendering.
I don't know.
I guess it must be intentional. They must not care. But they posted this rendering of they're showing it at Munich High End, and in the corner here we have the HD30, which is their current flagship DAC. They also have a P30A and an H30A, which is super interesting because I honestly didn't think Hegel was going to ever touch the separate markets ever again, because they have like the lock on integrateds and like all-in-one systems, like all the way up to like the 12,000, 15,000 range where the H590 is. But now it seems like we're going to get a replacement after 13 years of the H30 being out.
Jeez. Yeah, they with the technology too, I think they need to, and especially with so much competition nowadays. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I mean these products have just been around for so long. I just didn't think it was just kind of just going to fall into the wayside, and they're just making so much money off of integreds. I didn't think they were going to invest in developing more separates, but it sure looks like they're going to develop more separates. So I'm really interested too if this is going to be that same balanced differential design that the original H30 has, or if they're going to go to just a class AB like every other one of their amplifiers, and then also if there's going to be an H20A behind this, because I'm
Is
using
that like the lower model?
Yeah, that's the one that I have. I have the
Cheaper model.
Yeah, I mean it's still good.
Entry level Hegel is not entry level.
It's not entry level. It's still good, but I got the H20, so I'm really curious if they're gonna release an H20A and what that looks like as well. So interesting stuff from Hegel.
Kind of hurts looking at like entry level crap going for like $3,000. Like the Class A, like when they released these back in 2014, entry level. Then I was like, oh, let's search it up the price to see what entry is, right? $3,500. I was like, oh, that's entry.
Yeah, I saw some comments on the KEF stuff too. People were complaining about how expensive it was. Like, this isn't affordable. This isn't accessible to people.
But
I'm like,
I listened to the Q150s and they compete with the Metas. Because I had both. The Q150s, KEF puts a lot of time in their design. I don't know. I protect KEF. KEF is like my baby. KEF, if you want to work with me, I'd love to work with Papa. I'm just I love KEF. Their coaxial design is just amazing.
New sound engine. Yeah, we'll see what this comes out with. But I like also the like kind of the tease with the styling as well. You can see kind of some beveling on the top and bottom, so should be interesting. I'm really excited to see these new products from Hegel and what's gonna be revolutionary. What's gonna separate their their separates from their integrated, and what technology they're gonna use there. So be cool.
Or maybe it's just like a revamp, just changing, making it better.
Yeah, I still think it's a really good amp. Yeah, I still think it's a really good amp. So, and I was thinking of trying to get my hands on H30 at some point, or see if one comes up on the used market that I can try.
Which one do you have?
The H20.
Oh, so it's H30 and H50?
20. There's only two.
20 and 30 then. And
30 is the flagship.
All right. What's the difference? More power?
It's actually a very substantial difference currently, because the H20 is Class AB, where the H30 is a balanced differential design, and the insides of the inside of the H20 is pretty cool. The inside of the H30 looks really freaking sexy. Like, they got 2 toroidals and they got like 1 million transistors and like all these capacitors. It's pretty sexy.
All right, bet.
So I'm excited to see what the new update brings. And we got Audiovector coming with this black shadow of a new speaker.
Ooh, mystery. I like Audiovector. They produce some nice speakers.
Yeah, it looks like the QR series. The QR series really isn't that old, so I don't know if this is a replacement or this is something else entirely. I am interested by the fact that it seems like the top is glowing a bit. I don't know if they did that just for show to show their
Or if
logo,
it's
obviously,
powered.
or if it's powered. Yeah, exactly, and that's going to be a feature on this. But it looks pretty cool. Looks like some pretty large bass drivers as well. It's probably a 6.5 up here. So this has to be like an 8 or a 9, an 8.5 or 9.
It looks like 2 6.5s and then 5.25, or 2
Really? You think
8s and
so?
a 6. Yeah, it doesn't look that big.
I think it looks big. That looks like a large pizza to me. It's
large pizza is 14-inch, all right?
No,
That's
it's
a
only
medium pizza.
No, it's only 12. Okay, it's only 12. Okay, no. I think a large pizza is only
That's
12
an 8.
inches.
Let's go like safe. 8
All right,
inch.
we'll
Probably.
call it a medium. We'll call it a medium pizza. We'll say that's a medium pizza size woofer.
8 inch is medium, right?
Something like that. we'll find out, but I think it looks pretty meaty. I think
it looks normal though for their design. I don't want to say boring, but it looks plain.
It's
like the edges and stuff. It's probably like a piano gloss speaker with 2 drivers, a mid-range and then a tweeter. It's probably like what they use normally. What is it called? The ribbon?
Oh, the AMT?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's
definitely
AMT, not a ribbon.
Yeah, definitely think the AMT is the AMT tweeter here for sure.
All right.
Yeah, we'll
next, baby.
All right, we got Martén with their Mingus Quartet 2. Mingus. I think this is a real production pair, but the world premiere of this speaker is going to be at Munich. But I know there's some dealers that are getting this, and some people that I think are taking like.
Do they use the same drivers as the Estalon?
Yes. Yeah, these are still. Yeah, these are Ekiton cell drivers made by Thiel & Co. Right? Yeah, Thiel & Co.
All right. So those are probably really expensive then.
Yes, I believe so. The pricing has still not been released from what I know, but the series that is below this, which is the Parker series, I think, the top Parker speaker is like $40,000 or $50,000, something like
probably
that.
80, 90.
And then the set above this is the Coltrane, which is like 100,000. So
those are more than, I don't know.
So this has to be somewhere in like between 50 and 100. This probably has to be like maybe like 65, 75, something like that.
I don't know. I don't like the top with the wood. What do you think?
I don't know. I'd probably have to see it, but I mean, these speakers do look really nice in person too. So.
Oh, you saw them in person?
Well, no, not these ones, but we saw these. We saw the Parker Duos at
those look nice.
They were really nice. So I can imagine that on their higher end offering, it's even better finished.
For sure, because the finish on those are pretty intense. We saw them; it's like perfect.
Yeah, really beautiful. Although these are bass reflex; they're not passive radiators like the Parker Duos.
Ah, nice. I think when you go higher end, passive radiators don't make that much sense, When you're using such bigger drivers to produce bass, you don't really need passive radiators. You just put a port there and you're good. What do you think?
I don't have a particular preference. I think it's much easier to integrate a port than a passive radiator. So,
but yeah,
both are considered, bass reflex designs, I guess.
Yeah, Legacy uses 2.
Yeah, passive radiators. Yeah,
thick ass 12 inches, boy. They're thick. All right, let's go next.
All right. I don't know if this is saying Dynaudio is going to be revealing something, because they posted this teaser. It just says "listen to something different today." They didn't say anything about a new product. They just said we're going to be bringing just bring products, and there's even a chance to win something apparently. But I feel like listening to something different today sure does sound like they're doing something, right?
They're making music now.
Oh, thank you, Scotty, for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Yeah, the LP shelves on the Martén, very cool. Very nice.
Bro, we should do a live, me and you talking about vinyl, CDs, and stream.
We could do that. We could do that one day. I have some hot takes on that, so that might be a good one.
Same.
Okay, and then I put down the Chord Chord
Oh,
Ultima 3. This is already a
those
released product.
those look amazing though. I
It
love
looks
how
really cool.
Chord does like their designs are so different. It's just like Dan D'Agostino, you know. You
Hmm.
just look at it and you know
Yeah,
what
you
it
know
is.
what it is. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Is that a like that's a preamp, right?
Yeah, preamp. It's $7,500, and this is actually the the entry to their
Oh, here you go.
their entry to their preamp line, because there is the Ultima 2, the Ultima Pre 2, and the Ultima Pre no number, just the Ultima Pre, and I think that one's like 30,000, 25,000, something like that. It's well into the 5-figure range. So this is, their more affordable offering at 7,500.
Affordable. I want to get to that level one day. You know, get the cheapest entry level and like the $30,000 one and see if it sounds different because I don't know. My ears are pretty dumb. I don't hear a difference in most things. I only heard a difference from the amplifier change, but preamps, I don't know. It's just volume, right? And deck.
It is, but you can change the sound with a preamp. I do. All right, this is.
Change or make it better. Because cables, they say change sound. Not
Um, that's a very pointed and hard question. Does it sound better? Is it just changing the sound? At this level, I would say it's more likely just changing the sound than sounding quote unquote better. But preamps can change the sound. It just, depends. I will say a quality preamp does make a difference for sure.
but this one has a deck on it, right?
No, it's just a preamp.
Just the preamp. You're paying $7,000 for a knob. I'm out. I'm not an audiophile anymore.
You're not an
Bye, guys.
audiophile
I
anymore.
quit.
There's a lot more expensive preamps out there. Believe me.
Jeez.
Believe you me. There's a lot more
No
expensive.
mummies.
Okay.
Wow. Alright, I ain't buying cord. It looks nice though. That's insane.
Oh yeah, and then I don't know how much the power amps are, but I think they have a bunch to match as well. So
Aren't
you know
cord more like headphone?
that's probably the meat and potatoes of their revenue. I think is the headphone space, the DAC space. That's what they're very much so more well known for. So I don't know how many preamps they're selling or how many power amps they're selling. I think it's a very significantly lower amount than probably how much they make off selling DACs and their new headphone amplifiers and stuff like that.
They
So
do preamps? I went on their website and I couldn't find any. It was just like deck, that new thing, and that's it.
no, they do a couple more. Like I said, that's the Ultimate Pre 3. They do a 2 and they do a no number, which is the reference one.
Alright, but pretty cool stuff today, guys.
Oh
Spicy.
yeah, very
KEF.
easy.
I think KEF has changed the market, to be honest. KEF is gonna get all the companies ready to start making their powered speakers to compete. 'Cause there's nothing on it. Even Dynaudio. Dynaudio has them, but it's not. I don't think it's gonna blow up like the new KEF though. The LS60s.
They've been. I mean, the Dynaudio actives have been around for quite a few years now. So, I don't think they've made as big of a splash. But I think it's also just like the customer base as well. Like Dynaudio customers, I would think are very different than the customer that KEF targets as well. Because I feel like KEF is more so better known for products that offer very high value, that are under a certain price point, that are more accessible, that reach a broader audience in that regard. But
I don't
then,
know. I think KEF makes the person start with the QM50s, then LS50s, then you start getting reference series, then meta. No, not metas. The blades, because
mm,
the blades are really expensive.
I
And then
mean,
the
yeah,
ones,
they
because
definitely have that, but they're not. I feel like that's their. I
the
hate to
bread
say
and butter.
lesser.
You mean?
It's definitely not the bread and butter. I definitely think they're a little lesser known for that, if you will. Like the blades are obviously a very big statement piece because of how different they look versus any other speaker. But as far as is the Blade like the most dominant speaker in the $30,000 to $40,000 space? I don't think so. And I think that when you think of KEF in general, you do think of, the LS50, LS60, the wireless offerings, some of their smaller subwoofers, stuff like that. So
Yeah, and they don't push the blades that much, so yeah.
I think too, the thing that a little that like just like not sullies a little bit the blades, but kind of like gets in audiophile's head too, is you see the blades like go on sale pretty frequently. At least the old series for sure. You would see the twos go on sale from like 25 grand down to like, I don't know, like almost, I think I want to say at some point I even saw them for as low as like 15 or something like that.
15 for the
Yeah, like
blades.
I think it was like 30. No, it was like 30 or 40% off. Like it was a pretty substantial cut for the blades. And I was like, this is so weird. Like if KEF's undercutting, that much, it's kind of like, how do the dealers make money? But I guess they still do. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Macintosh, right? They like it because they buy it and sell it for almost the same.
Yeah, Macintosh. Yeah, Macintosh is interesting too because
And you cannot find prices, dude. It's hard to find like the higher end stuff.
Yeah, they're
It's hard to find
very
prices.
secretive. But if you buy a Macintosh, you're probably not going to lose much money on it, especially if you wait a few generations. Because like the MC 275, like if you bought like the 3rd generation one, it pretty much sells for the same price as the 6th generation one used. So, and it was like $2,000 back then, and now it's like $7,000 for a new one.
That's crazy.
So it just depends on the generation and everything.
All right, but I guess that was the news.
Yeah.
You want to say something else?
No, that's everything that we saw from Munich so far, and we're gonna see some more from Munich. I got a guy who told me he's gonna be there, and he's gonna share a Google Drive link with me. So that'll be really sweet. Yeah, we'll get some pictures and some videos straight from Munich. So be ready for that.
Hey, that's gonna be cool. Wait, where does that happen? The Munich show?
Munich.
Yeah, Munich.
Germany.
Oh, Germany. Yeah, I don't know where that is. I was like, where's Munich, bro? Everybody's talking about it, but like, is it online?
Oh no, we gotta talk about the new cables coming out too. We missed that.
Transparent follows me on Insta. I was like, oh boy.
Probably a lot of cable. I think a lot of cable companies follow me. I mean, I don't, I don't have a problem with them. I'm not gonna.
The guy at Uta Audio, he says, I'll do a demo for you. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't know.
I know what demo he was gonna do. We can talk about that offline.
Yeah, let's do it. I want to try some cables though. I'll hit up Transparent and be like, send me the best cable you got. I'll try it myself. Because I actually want to hear it to believe it, I don't have my conclusion, so I'm not going to talk about it.
All right.
About cables.
All right. Well, thanks everyone.
Long enough. Bad, yeah. All right. Thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you next week. And stay tuned for Scotty's show on Instagram and Hi-Fi Happy Hour on that Hi-Fi Girl. And thanks to Bass Therapy as always for joining me again. And
you'll be seeing us every Friday.
We'll see you next week.
It all depends on this guy.
All right. Thanks everyone. Take care.
All right. Peace out. Have a great night, guys. Not night. Yeah, it's night after 6 somewhere. Not in Utah.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everyone.